Thanks very much for joining us here at the SATNAC conference. That is basically the Southern African Telecommunications Network and Applications Conference, where the emphasis is really on new technologies and a lot of focus on artificial intelligence, which has really been a very focal topic globally, not just here in South Africa. So the SATNAC conference, it does a couple of things. It looks at the latest technological trends, and it also looks at actually boosting young doctorate and master's graduates or students who have ideas, and they bring them to the fore to this conference where they're able to associate with government, industry leaders and a whole lot of other people to actually bring their ideas to fruition and maybe actually get their idea working for you and me, ordinary citizens. Well, to tell us a bit more about SATNAC, I'm joined by Dr. Mmaki Jantjies. She is the chairperson of SATNAC. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. So, of course, your focus today is also going to be around the fact that you're celebrating 25 years of what you guys call the Centers of Excellence, which is all a focus on skills development. Tell us about that.
Good morning. I think the Centers of Excellence are very central to the SATNAC conference. 25 years ago, Telkom established what is called the Research Centers of Excellence as a public-private partnership with government, with industry players, thinking carefully about where the technology landscape is evolving to and how we can transform it with skills and research projects that speak to the evolving and advancing of technology. Today, we are celebrating 25 years of the Jubilee of the Centers of Excellence, and we have an opportunity to then also look back to see what impact we have made within the ICT and telecommunication sector. We'll also be handing over and launching a new report that looks at the impact in the South African industry of how this technology has essentially brought new skills that have transformed the sector. We have seen in the report that over 3,600 masters and PhD students graduating in engineering, graduating in computer science, graduating in the STEM fields are now executives at leading telcos across South Africa as well as ICT companies. And that is why today is such a celebration for us as not only the telecommunication sector but as well as the ICT sector.
Okay, apologies for the noise in the background, but of course today's theme is around artificial intelligence and being connected to a general society. Why is the topic of AI so important? Why is it so topical, and how can it change our lives?
Look, the topic of AI is very important because we've seen a disruption of what we call generative AI and artificial intelligence, particularly this year, across sectors globally. And it was important for us to then root it in the South African context to say how are industries transforming, how are academic institutions transforming, and how are we as a society responding to this disruption that ultimately is going to have an impact on the everyday South African. And so for the next 2 days, we will be hearing different presentations that range from how corporate is using artificial intelligence to how academic institutions are looking at research areas that impact average South Africans affected by artificial intelligence. But most importantly, how we as a country can ensure issues such as ethics are then embedded in how we adopt the technology within the sector.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mmaki Jantjies, for joining us there. AI, artificial intelligence, really an important discussion for businesses that are watching at home from their businesses. This is something that you may want to actually tune into and learn a little bit, because we want to ensure that everyone is not left behind, as this is a global phenomenon that is going to be sweeping right through and will affect people's bottom lines.